got a WhatsApp from Norman today, and I listened to the WhatsApp, and I said, Norman, I hear you. I know exactly what you're saying. I understand. I know what this guy is saying sounds plausible. It even sounds like what it is supposed to be. Unfortunately, I think otherwise, and I'll go ahead and play it. There may be a few mistakes in here, but because I think I had to retrain it or anyway. But let's go ahead and play it, and then we'll take it on the. Well, I'm going to play it right here. Let's go.
Discussion became heated, and the two decided to submit the issue to arbitration. So they approached the judge lion. The donkey told the tiger, "The grass is blue." The tiger replied, "No, the grass is green." The discussion became heated, and the two decided to submit the issue to arbitration. So they approached the judge lion. As they approached the lion on his throne, the donkey started screaming, "Your Highness, isn't it true that the grass is blue?" The lion replied, "If you believe it's true, then the grass is blue." The donkey rushed forward and continued, "The tiger disagrees with me, contradicts me, annoys me. Please punish him." The king then declared, "The tiger will be punished. 3 days of silence," he declared. Well, the donkey jumped with joy and went on his way, content and repeating, "The grass is blue, the grass is blue." Well, in private, the tiger asked the lion, "Your Majesty, why have you punished me? After all, the grass is green." The lion replied, "You've known and seen the grass is green." The tiger asked, "So then why do you punish me?" The lion replied, "That has nothing to do with the question of whether the grass is blue or green. The punishment is because it is degrading for a brave, intelligent creature like you to waste time arguing with an ass. And on top of that, you came and bothered me with that question just to validate something you already knew was true." You see, the biggest waste of time is arguing with a fool and fanatic who doesn't care about truth or reality, but only the victory of his or her beliefs or illusions. Never waste time on discussions that make no sense. There are people who, for all the evidence presented to them, do not have the ability to understand, nor do they want to understand. They just want to argue. Others who are blinded by ego or hatred and resentment, the only thing that they want is to be right, even if they aren't. The saying goes, when ignorance screams, intelligence moves on. Until next time.
Now, here's my disagreement. We are one country. I want everybody to listen to me in detail. I am not a fool. I am not gullible. I don't believe in fallacies. I don't believe in fantasies. I don't believe that all people are immutable. So, given that belief system, and given that I've seen it in practice, I cannot simply abide by that intelligent man's request, because it's a true request for a good amount of people. But it's not a good request for the vast majority of people. And that is where I think I come across the people that have the largest voice. They're loud, they're on TV, and everybody follows them. But everybody else are trying to just survive. They're just trying to live. And to make the loud mouths who have they know better. This guy is right. When he says, "Do not argue with an ass, a fool, he's a fool." The problem is that in that regard, he's right with the external fool and ass. He's wrong about what's happening on internal in many of these people. Don't you think? Don't you think Hannity knows that he's lying and he's putting a whole lot of people into dire straits? Yes, he does. But he's fulfilling the task of his masters. Okay? So we can say, and because what Hannity has done is he has created a trust regime between a group of people that trust him. And in trusting him and liking him, they believe what he has to say, and to some extent they want to will what he has to say into reality. My contention is quite similar, just with truth. What do I mean by that? I told a person one time, we were having a discussion, and this guy, right winger, why do you keep doing this to me, you know? I asked him one question. I said, do you like me? And he bowed his head and he said, the reason anytime I see your car at Starbucks, I come in is, yeah, I like you, you know? And I said, if you really believe all the things that you spout out here, why do you keep coming? I want to see if you have a backstop for everything that I hear. In other words, he wasn't willing, he is developing trust in me. Right? Because at some point, if he makes a turn, it's going to be because of that trust that he developed in me. I mean, it sounds unrealistic. It sounds to some people who hear all the noise on TV, it sounds like it's impossible. But it's only, and you know who wants you to believe it's impossible? The plutocracy. Brother Ledo came on here and he says, we've done educating, we've done doing all these things. And Daniel Ledo is talking as if he believes what's next is some sort of a civil war. And that is what the plutocracy wants. Oh, you know, a civil war comes, it won't be a civil war like we had in 1862, 63. That's not the kind of civil war we're talking about. It will be one in which the capitalists continue to make a whole bunch of money. You see, people don't, the reason I don't ever give up, the reason I continue doing this is I know better. I know that the plutocrats make money on all sides. You know, as a weapon sellers, right? America sells more weapons than anybody else. And guess what? We furnish weapons to the people that are killing each other. We furnish weapons to the guerrillas. We furnish weapons to the states. We furnish weapons to everybody, just like Brazil does as well, right? It's all about the money. So what I'm saying is, I am not going to go out there and fight Daniel Ledo. I'm not going to go out there and fight Eric Hayes. I'm not going to go out there and fight Mike Cisak. I'm not going to go out there and fight Brother Grant. I am not going to do any of that because that's what they want us to do. I do that, they win because that's the game they're playing. They need us to be at each other's throats. And if I can put inside of my body enough hate for all my right wingers, then I spend all my time fighting them. Instead, I spend my time shoring up my lefties, my good old lefties. I spend all the time in the world shoring them up, empowering them. But at the same time, I spend, as Brother Tom is saying here, pointing out that the emperor has no clothes and letting them see that the liberal that they thought, or not the liberal, because I don't think both myself and Michael Rudnin will not accept that as just the liberals, because we're not liberals, we're leftists, okay? That the progressives somehow are people who want to take something away from you. Our job is to prove that that caricature that you see on Fox News isn't true, because that caricature on Fox News Hell, I would be scared of too. That is the magic, folks. So my right wingers in here, this is no act, okay? This is a deliberate way of being to beat the plutocracy. I have no at all love for the plutocracy, for politicians, Republican or Democrat or otherwise, that are there to really do one thing, and to make sure the population at large are fighting each other. That's not my game. Right now, the power of making progressive change lies within the Democratic Party, because there is some room in there with 90-something plus progressives that are trying to make a change. And so far, the Republican Party has proven itself to be a party of death. That 780,000 people don't make you feel guilty for preaching policies that kill your own. If you look at where the deaths are occurring in this country, it is exactly under red state government or Republican principled places. That is where the deaths are occurring. Take a look at what's happening. They're killing their own. Many say, oh, great. Survival of the fittest. Let them kill themselves. I can't do that either. I can't believe in that either, because I become them. I become just as evil as they are. So my thing, Brother Reynolds, I understand what the brother was saying when he talks about don't talk to a fool. You see, I don't consider them fools. I mean that from the depth of my heart. And I want to give a correlation here. A person who grew up in Saudi Arabia knows nothing in the aggregate other than being reared under that domain where women are second-class citizens or what. That's how they were reared. That is ingrained in them. Okay? I was raised in Panama. Ingrained in me was sexism. Ingrained in me was homophobia. What happened to me? I was educated. Okay? I was educated. We have to leave the doors open for education. And it's not, I tell you something. Hell, my daughter, my wife, no, they don't listen to me at the first time. Maybe eventually they say, oh yeah, I guess you were right, eh? So why would I expect a stranger to do the same with me? It's going to take some effort. And when I talk about geometric progression, when I talk about geometric progression in the grassroots, what I'm talking about is starting small, teaching others to be progressively geometric. And in doing so, that is how ultimately we'll make change. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.